welcome to yet a third installment of Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday on this momentous day, New Year's Eve 2022. Yes, I've done 3 different videos for New Year's Eve, trying to catch up on the last minute year details and trying to provide you all with some quality content. Don't all talk at once. Just put it in the comments down below. Yes, it's Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. It is New Year's Eve, and we are going to unbox and take a quick look at Dune Imperium. Now, this is, I've been excited about this game because there's a lot of buzz about this game. It's been out for a while, been out for quite some time. And with the release of the movie Dune, kind of doing the new series, the modern approach to Dune, this game, came out right after that or around the same time, and there's been a lot of, buzz about this game and how it plays, and a lot of people really like it, and it's becoming, in some corners, the Dune game of choice. Now, are there a lot of Dune games out there? Yes, there are. With that movie coming out, there's been a lot of Dune games coming out, but I'm harkening back to the Dune game from Avalon Hill that I played way back in the 80s, which was a really, really good game, and a game kind of ahead of its time. In fact, it kind of got taken out of time because the rights to it got tied up and they couldn't re-release it or reprint it. In fact, they eventually came out with Twilight Imperium Rex, Final Days of an Empire, which is basically they couldn't use the Dune universe, so they used the Twilight Imperium universe. This is put out by Fantasy Flight, and called it Rex. Now, this plays a lot like Dune. It has a lot of the same elements from the original Dune game. Now, they changed up a few things in here. Actually, streamlined it a little bit in some respects. But if you're wanting the Dune itch, if you're, the lore and, all the different Herbert books and the books by his son, and you really want to get into that universe, well, this isn't going to scratch that itch because this is in the Twilight Imperium universe. It has those different factions and races. But the gameplay is and some people might say it was improved and streamlined. Some people say that they didn't like it, but this is a fine game in its own right. Now, eventually, the rights to Dune that this game was based on freed up, and there's been I think Gale Force 9, I think, did a reboot of that. That was basically the same Dune game in all respects except for the art. There was like an upgrade in the art. That's my understanding of it. I didn't get that one because I have Rex, right? Well, now I have Dune Imperium, and this game plays totally different than Dune or Rex. This is a card builder and a cube pusher and a lot of stuff going, worker placement. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game, but this has gotten a lot of attention and favorable comments. So here is the back of the box. As you can see here, control the spice, control the universe. Yes, we all know that. So Dune Imperium, let's take a look here at the bio. Dune Imperium blends deck building and worker placement in a deeply thematic new strategy game where the fate of the Empire hangs on your decisions. You will seek political allies or rely upon military might, economic strength or subtle intrigue, a council seat or a sharpened blade. The cards are dealt, the choice is yours, the Imperium awaits. And I think there's one of the complaints about this game was not necessarily the gameplay, but it was some of the components and the like. And there's actually, I think, an upgrade pack that comes out for this. And there's actually at least one expansion that's already out, and there might be another one either out or in the works on this. So I'm way behind the times on this, just getting this now because there's already a few expansions out for it. What am I going to do? But I thought it was... I thought that there was enough buzz about this and that I really needed to try it out and get it in my hands and get it to the table. Let's get inside the box now with all that getting talk. Yeah, here, standard, square Euro game or hobby game box here. Not super thick, but, not necessarily flimsy. Here's the rules here. There's a good old sandworm on the cover there. Big, thick rule book. It's the same size as the box. And it is, here's some of your icons. That's good. They're not wasting the back page. You've got the icon guide and additional terms. It looks like it's 15 pages, but last page is credits. You've got some strategy tips here. So, looks like 13 pages of rules, but it's, big pages, but you also have illustrations in here. It's full color, generally two column, but there's some notes or boxes for probably, specialized or extra explanation or content in here. And there's your round structure. So really doesn't look that complex. Here's your setup. This is a deck builder and worker placement, so there's a lot of cards, there's a lot of cubes in this, or wooden bits, I should say. I don't know if they're necessarily in the cube shape. And here's a little bit of explanation of the different factions, and then your game components, what you get in there. You actually do get cubes. There, I wasn't wrong. So that's the rules here. And you get the House Haggle card solo and 2-player game. So there's a solo game that's based on that. That's another reason why I decided to pick this up. I wanted to try the solo play. So you get a big page there for solo play, board space guide. So these are talking about the different board spaces that you can go to. This is part of the worker placement side piece of it. Here's some punch out, so decent thickness on the counters there. Some punch outs there. Okay, then we get the board. We'll take a look at the board here in a second. We got my silica. So you've got some markers here, round markers, wooden. Don't know if they're like for victory points or certain tracks. Here's some cubes. You got blue and green there on some cubes. We've got some different shaped wooden bits here. And some more silica. Got a bag. Have some hexagon type bits here in 2 different sizes. Orange. And have some round, thinner bits in gray in 2 different sizes. We got some, this has got to be water, and a black marker there. It's got some wooden water. Then we've got some red and gray, red and brown or tan. I'm coming up with my own colors here, and some silica. Cubes, and that's all the cubes you get in there. Let's see what we got here. These look like some player boards here. These are some of the characters I believe you can play. Duke Leto Atreides, Paul Atreides, Baron Harkonnen. Well, that guy looks good. That's Drax from the movie. Sorry, the same character, guy who played Drax. Sorry. Some cool. The art's cool there. And on the back, you've got your round start, player turns, combat makers, and recall. So you've got some little player aid there. And that's on the back of each one of those. And there you have it. Those are the different ones that you can play. I assume that the expansions maybe give you some new people to play or some additional people and some new ways to play. I hear the X expansion, I think, changes the game up and improves it. At least that's what some people believe. Got some small cards here. Let's just crack these open and see what we have here. I've watched some gameplay of this. I haven't, but it's been a while. I just have not focused on this. I've had so many other games to get to and deal with and want to play and shoot content on that I haven't really had a chance to really focus on. This has always been kind of on the back burner. I've got to pick this up. And so I have. So these are little smaller cards here. Some called Plot, Combat, In-Game. Not a lot of art on there, just more iconography and some language or text on there. So some interesting stuff there. See what that has to do with anything. Oh, big deck of cards. That is a big deck of cards there. Don't think I've ever seen a deck wrapped like that. It's almost like 3 decks wrapped in one. Dune Imperium. EN, I assume, stands for English. So maybe there are different versions of this. Although there's not a lot of text on these, so 2P, 1P, 2P, so I guess that depends on what player count, what some of these cards go in or go out. So decent, crisp, clean graphics, icons on there, but not not overwhelming. This has some text on there too. Got to know the old doctor there. So cool. The cards are, decent. They're not super thick. There's no linen finish on them. They look fine. I would imagine that with repeated play, with the black borders, there could be some wear on that. That happens. I know that happens like with Magic the Gathering cards at times. Duncan, Idaho. So all the stuff that you expect to see is in here. So I won't go through all of this, but there's a lot of good stuff here. Dune, the desert planet. So can't wait to get this to the table here. Family, we watched, my kids and I watched the Dune movie, the new Dune movie. I thought I liked it. It was a little slow, a little more of a setup for what's to come. But I was not a hater of the one that came out in the 80s. I actually think that the Sci-Fi Channel series of Dune was done very well, and thought that was as good as the movie. But I didn't think the original movie was horrible. I thought it had its moments, and they took some. I was fine with some of the decisions they took, and everybody's got their own different point of view and perspective on some of this stuff. So here is the board here. Might have to go out a little bit more to see what the board is. It's mounted, and it is single-sided. And you've got all the places where you're going to be doing some worker placement, and then this is like the combat. There's a combat element to this where you're going to be fighting, and this is where you put your cubes for the combat or the conflict piece of that. I know that much. But then you've got your building, I think, some alliances with some of these different areas. The Fremen, the Bene Gesserit, the Spacing Guild, the Emperor, the Landsrat Council, the Chome. So you've got all kinds of different areas that you go to, and they do different things here. So very interesting. I'm not overwhelmed by the production value or the components. Maybe that's why the upgrade pack, exists, to help out with, giving you a little bit more flair and touch and feel to the components. But not bad. I mean, I'm not sitting here going, there's no way I'd want to play this. And I hear that the gameplay is excellent. So anyway, this is what you get in a box of Dune Imperium. I know I'm late to the party, very late to the party. Late to my New Year's Eve party as well. But I want to take some time out to show you all what I have in store. So anyway, this is the third installment on Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, on the New Year's Eve edition. So thank you for stopping by. If you're not watching this on New Year's Eve because you're doing something, you're spending time with more important people than myself and some quality time with them, please enjoy that. If you're watching it after the fact, then I hope you had a good time. Hope it was safe. Hope you're having a great start to the new year, and you're going to accomplish everything that you set out to do. I really do hope the best for each one of you. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate any comments you might leave. That's how I know that you're here and that what you're thinking. Appreciate that. And I have some big plans for 2023 in this space. Hopefully, continue doing what I'm doing and maybe develop some new stuff as well. Is the hope and plan as I get time to do it. But as always, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for for any minute, any second you watch of this. It's appreciated. And have a good one. Be safe. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.